How's it? Yeah, thanks for joining me on this first episode of sewing speeches. Um, I yeah, I've just been watching the news in America. So I'm in the UK, grew up in South Africa, and I am sitting here and just watched the news. They've just passed that, in inverted commas, big beautiful bill that's going to kick 12 million people off healthcare, give trillions in maintain tax cuts to the people who don't need them. Yeah, it's the ramifications of that, but also globally because it's going to affect the monetary system as well. Because the debt is going to go up. American debt's going to go up by 3 or 4 billion minimum, and that's going to have effect on the bond markets, the currency markets, which again is going to have an effect around the world. So, there's so much going on. We've got Israel, we've got Iran, Afghanistan and Iraq are still a mess. We've got Sudan and Yemen. We've got Ukraine here in Europe. And we've got the trade tariff debacle emanating out from America. So I've been chatting with mates, as we all do, and they just said to me, "Yeah, it's you think so passionately about it, you think so attentively towards it. Don't just speak to us, speak to other people." So if I get a few watchers, great, and if it makes people think or helps people to clarify something, then that's a bonus as well. Sorry about the lighting. I don't have this is one of my first ones. What I think a lot of people are missing is that this is an inflection point in history. And what we've got is politicians in America that are looking inwardly, and in the UK, again, they're looking a bit more outwardly, but domestically in terms of their day-to-day political lives. And it's disappointing. We are living in a time of change, massive change, and it doesn't happen in one day or 1 year. It's been happening, probably gradually since the 2000s, that there's an hegemonic change about to occur. And I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but with what Trump is doing, I'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, what I want to talk about on this series of videos is where I think medium-sized powers, and in particular the UK, are going wrong, what they're not focusing on, and perhaps a few things that they could implement. So that's basically what I'm going to talk about. The overarching theme is that we need leaders who are aspirational. Don't have to be young. I mean, look at Bernie Sanders. But we need people who are leaders, who have vision, are brave, are selfless. At the moment, we've got managers. In America, we've got a nutter. In Britain, we've got managers across all the political parties. And they don't want to do anything revolutionary because they're quite happy to swap their every 4, 5, 8 years. They're quite happy to swap, get into power, go out of power. Obviously, they'd like to be in power forever, but they know that's not realistic. So they're quite happy just to have the merry-go-round. And they just slightly outdo each other in terms of what they promise in different, whether they're left-leaning or right-leaning or centrist. And it's a betrayal because we're facing a huge change in the world. And it's been brought about, I think, 10 to 20 years sooner than I thought it was going to happen. And that is that America is rapidly losing its hegemony, its global status as the global dominant power. And again, it won't happen overnight. And they'll say, oh, we've got the biggest economy. And yeah, but none of these things happen overnight. They happen over time. The Roman Empire took 800 years to eventually collapse. And you could argue that there's still a lot of Roman Empire in our literature, in our legal system, in our calendar. Excuse me, it's hot here. Is it hot with you? I think, yeah, this has been the hottest day of the year so far, and the hottest June that we've had in recorded history in Britain. So I think that our politicians are betraying. They're betraying their oath, they're betraying their job, and their job is to do what's best for the future of the country, irrespective of what's best for them. They're kind of behaving like fish in an aquarium. You know, they're fighting for the best holes, they're puffing up and showing their bright colors to attract people. They're all different shapes and sizes, and they fight for the crumbs of the flakes that get fed into them. All the while, the house in which the aquarium is based is on fire. And, you know, politically over here, they squabble about £100 here on, you know, for your heating, or whether you're getting too much child support, you know, extra £12, or whether this politician got given some free clothes. And we're facing a moribund economy, you know, very low growth as it is in a lot of the West. We've got a lot of debt. We've got a military that's been underfunded and betrayed. We've got threats in China and Russia and terrorism, America, and we've got the aspirational BRICS. And our politicians, in my opinion, they're penny pinching. When what we need is, and I'm not talking about in terms of money, I'm talking about in terms of vision and and desire and ambition. We need new, disruptive, fresh and exciting, positive, ambitious, aggressive politicians. Some will be young, some will be you know, middle-aged, but they need to be bold and imaginative to set up Britain to slow down the decline, and to make us more competitive against these aspirational countries that are coming up: the Philippines, Taiwan, India, Nigeria, South Africa. And I don't want to keep those down, but I want us to start being more effective at growth, at competing. In one area, I will laud the Western politicians and how they've dealt with Trump. So Trump has been boorish and incoherent, and he's betrayed NATO, he's betrayed the Allies, he's betrayed Ukraine. But Prime Ministers Tusk, Starmer, Carney, President Tusk, isn't it? President Tusk, von der Leyen, Zelensky, and Chancellor Merz have done a pretty good job at biting their tongue, giving in on a few things, just to hold on to America for a little bit longer until our Western allies, the medium powers, can reform and still, you know, work with America when it's appropriate, but have our own medium-sized power: Germany, France, Canada, Australia, South Korea, Japan, Britain. And we can trade and we can do defense, but we need a bit of time, and they've done a very good job, I think, of managing him. We're excuse me. Where are we today in terms of what I keep saying about an inflection point? So in 1453, Constantinople was eventually, it was the last outpost that was eventually toppled by the Ottomans. And so that was an inflection point. And then you've got Great Britain consolidating their power as the single hegemonic power in the world in 1815. They'd been one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, for 50, 60, 70 years beforehand. But Russia, France,